Good morning, my friends. How are you? It's so good to see you. I hope you're having a good morning so far and a good week so far. And you woke up and you did your stretches and you brushed your teeth and washed your face and brushed your hair and you're ready for a new day. So let's say good morning with our heart. So good morning from my heart to your heart. And remember, everything you're learning connects me to you and you to me. I love hearing about it. I love seeing it. I hope you guys have been practicing lessons and trying new things, and I can't wait to hear about it. And also, we're all connected through our friends and our rainbow together. So every time you're learning or singing songs or trying something new, your friends are also doing those things, and we're growing and we're getting smarter. And even though we're not together, we're still able to do learning, which is awesome. So I'm proud of you all, and I miss you, and I can't wait to see all the things you've done. All right, so let's start with the date. Who knows what month we are in? I think I left my calendar. It's right here. Who remembers what month we are in? Starts with the A. Yeah, we're in the month of April. And today is Wednesday, April 29th. So we've made it all the way to the 29th, the very end of the month. And tomorrow is Thursday, April 30th. And then we're done the month of April. So who can think of what month comes after April? It starts with a sound, and it's not March because we had March before April. It is the month of May. Yeah, so we're going to go further into spring, and we are further into spring every day until we get to the next season. What comes after spring comes summer. So we're going deeper into spring to get to summer, and hopefully there will be no more snow. I don't think it can snow in May, so I don't think there'll be any more snow, but there'll definitely be more rain and lots of sunny days, I hope. So my weather jar looks like this right now, and I have drawn the sun on my weather in my weather book. It says April 29th, and I did sun. It is very sunny right now. You can see the sun here, but I think it's going to rain later. So the clouds are coming in, but that's okay because I know all of our plants need the water to grow. So, and they need the sun. So it's a nice mixture. So in my jar right now it's empty because, there's one drop in there. So I've had 2 days of pretty much no rain, no precipitation. And I've been checking my jar every day. So maybe some of you guys have been checking yours once a week or every couple of days, or maybe you're doing it every day and keeping it in your book, which is awesome. So maybe there's rain there, or rain's coming, or there was rain, who knows. But for me, I have nothing, so I'm just going to put a T in my book to write trace amounts, all right? Okay, so we're going to talk about lots of things today. Just like last week, I put the second years and third year lessons together because I thought we could just have more fun and do more cool things. So let's go over some of the culture stuff we're going to learn today. Okay, so let's start with looking at I'll just quickly remind you about your bird books. So I hope your bird books are going really well. Maybe you have 10 pages of birds, maybe you have 4, maybe you have 20. Who knows how many different birds you've seen, but I really hope you're keeping track of it. And I can't wait to see lots of colored pictures. And then also, I was just going to mention this again, your pledges. And I saw some of them, and they looked awesome. Lots of great ideas. A lot of my friends mentioned not making garbage as much, using the compost, staying away from stuff like plastic, stuff we don't need. So I love that you've done some pledges, and hopefully you've talked to some of your friends about pledges and taking care of our earth to celebrate it not just on Earth Day, but every day, which is so important. And later on today, we're going to do a little craft with some recycled materials, so that's good. And let's talk a little bit about growing things. And not just flowers, but also vegetables and fruits and seeds and plants. So I have a few different things here, and we're just going to talk about them. Let's take out this book and this. Okay, so let's start there today. Okay, so let's start with the avocado pit. So this is something that Sloan and I did probably about 3 weeks ago now, and I was really hoping that it was going to sprout by the time that we did this lesson, but it hasn't yet. So this is a really easy thing that you could try doing at home. All you need is an avocado, and inside the avocado is the pit or the seed. So just like inside an apricot or a plum, there is a pit, and then if you do certain things to it, you can hopefully get it to grow some roots through the bottom, and then eventually sprout out, and then this would turn into like a seedling, like a sprout, and then it would keep growing, and then eventually be an avocado plant tree, and then the fruit is the avocado. So obviously like not a small project. It would probably take 1 year or more to get everything going, but it's still neat and it's kind of fun to do and to try. So yeah, so you could take your pit and just like this, we skewered it, and then the bottom has to stay in the water to try to get it to have the roots come out, and then we're hoping that a green shoot will come out the top. So that's our little avocado pit activity. And maybe there's some stuff you're sprouting at your house. A lot of friends right now are getting their gardens ready. So one thing that they do is they take the little seeds from the seed packets, or also maybe that they've dried out of different fruits and vegetables. Yesterday we had butternut squash, and I took the butternut squash seeds and I'm drying them out. And then they take little pots of earth and plant them in and water them and put them in sunlight. And then eventually those seeds will sprout, and then you replant them into your vegetable garden outside or into your flower bed if you're sprouting flowers. And also maybe some of your flowers outside have just on their own started to come out of the ground. So here where I am, we're starting to see trilliums come up, and there's been dandelions. Just today I saw some dandelions in the forest, and also here there's been something called wild leeks, which are like a mix of garlic and onion, and they've sprouted up, and I'll send some pictures to you so you can see them, because I've been picking them and eating them, and they're so delicious. They're a little bit stinky, but super delicious, and it's really cool to go for walks in the woods and walks in nature and see what flowers and what vegetables and different things are already starting to come out and that we can eat. So I wanted to share with you just this little bit first, and this talks about just spring shapes and colors and about some trees. So as you know, all of our trees right now have no leaves. They all lost their leaves for the winter, and we've talked about that in class before. And basically the tree is kind of going into hibernation. So because we're going into winter, so there's going to be less sunlight, less rain, they lose the leaves, because the leaves' main activity is to catch the sunlight, to do photosynthesis, so that the water that's traveling through the tree and the sunlight create nutrients for the tree or the plant for it to grow. So in the winter, they shed their leaves because they're not going to do any growing in the winter. They're not going to sprout new buds. They're not going to try to grow bigger and stronger. These trees are just going to stay kind of in their hibernation. And now it's spring, so now everything's coming back alive. There's lots of rain, there's lots of sunlight, and things are starting to grow again. So I just wanted to share this. It said that paper birches, so a birch is the white tree, that their buds will be purplish brown, which is really cool. So maybe if you go for a nature walk, you'll see some purple brown buds on a white tree, and then you'll know that it's a birch tree. Okay, so that's a cool thing. And then it says that red maples, so that's a very common one because we have the maple leaves everywhere and maple trees and maple syrup, which is coming, and their flowers are red, and so they're starting little red buds on the trees. So maybe you'll recognize a maple tree because you'll see the red buds in the tree, and their twigs are gray, so their branches are really gray. So the new sprouts are gray, not so much brown, and then red buds. And then you know that that's a maple tree. So you guys can kind of act like nature detectives or tree detectives and figure out what's what kind of tree it is or what plant's going to grow. You can even look at the different stems that are coming out and try to figure out what plant's going to be there. So this is just a flower. It's not a real one, but we've all done this in class, and we've done the puzzle of the flower. But down here we have the roots, then we have the stem, the leaves, and then the flower, right? And we've studied that, flowers can be all different colors and different shapes. There can be sunflowers the size of your head. There can be flowers the size of your pinky nail. There can be all different colors, all smells. So yeah, lots of variation in that species. And here today also we're going to do the parts of the flower. So I'm going to send this to you so you can do it at home. But basically, they're just like our cards that we have in class, our nomenclature cards. And, oh, that's a blank one. Okay. So I thought I would just go over it with you so we can talk about it, and then you guys can do it on your own. So there's 5 main parts of the flower. So this page here I colored in the full flower, and then I labeled it at the bottom, so you guys can do that. And then we call the petals, the scientific name for the petal of the flower is called the corolla. So, and then on your next paper, you would just color that one part of the flower and label it, and you can label it in cursive or in print. I would love for it to be in cursive, but it's up to you. And you can color that one part, so the corolla. And then we have the pistil, which is in the center, the pistil. And we have the stamens. And we have the calyx. There we go. So you can make a little flower book like this. Maybe I should make that a little bit. A little flower book like this. You could make it into a book with the parts of the flower. Of course, that's a great idea. So like that, and you could staple it. You could also glue it in a row and make like a poster of the parts of the flower. You could also take a flower that you have at home, like a pretend one, and you can even write out the labels and try to label the flower itself. So that's just some ideas of things you can do. And also you could just draw your own big flower with all of the 5 parts and then label it yourself, right? So lots of cool ideas. Okay, and that's always working with our writing and our language, so it's good. And the little activity, I'm just going to show it you now that we can do with the flower. And this is more just the basic parts of a plant, like the roots, the stem, the leaves, and the flower, is do this. So this is just recycled craft, very nature activity. So basically what you want to do is find a stick or something that you can put into a jar or have it stand on its own if it's steady. And for me, this worked the best. So I put some Play-Doh in a jar, and then I put this stick in there that I found outside. And then here I just drew a flower and I glued it onto a recycled toilet paper roll, and I cut it up. So I kind of made a puzzle, like a flower puzzle. And you can cut it up into smaller pieces. You could make your stem really, really long, so it goes all the way up. You could do, lots of leaves, whatever you want. So the first one, of course, on the bottom should be what? Should the flower top go on the bottom? No. Yeah, okay, so the roots need to go on the bottom. So I labeled the roots on the side, and you could label it or not label it. But the roots go on the bottom, so I'm going to put the roots on the bottom. And then comes the stem, yeah. So which one is just a picture of the stem? So there, stem. So that one's going to go next. Like that. Oh, it's so hard to see. I hope that's okay. And then I did the leaves on here like that. Like that. It's like really tilting over today. Okay. And then here is the flower on top. There you go. So it's like a little flower puzzle where you've labeled the parts and you put the parts together, and you had kind of a fun, threading activity and something different. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you explore with it. And if you want to send me a picture, I would love to see it as always. So yeah, enjoy. Okay, so now we're going to go into our language lessons. So I'm going to give you 2 today. And I think, most of my friends are, reading really well and practicing that, which I'm so proud of you. But just like everything, more practice is always good for us and good for our brains, okay? So first we're going to do 2 new phonograms today. So 2 new phonograms today are the S and the H, H together, and the K and the H together. All right? So S and H together make the sh sound, like hush. And the K and the H together make the ch sound, like chug. Okay? Or I was thinking of a train, like chugga chugga choo choo. I'll make the ch sound. So here I have my cards. I hope you guys can see me. It should be back a little bit more. I have my cards to match underneath the sounds. Okay? So here we go. Whew. All right. So just like last time, if you're able, you should label and color them and make them cool. And then these are phonogram charts that you can have, and you can keep them in a book. You can keep them in your room, on your desk. You can put them up on the wall to help you remember when you're reading. All right. So this is a cherry. Yeah. So is it going to go sh or ch? Yeah, it's going to go to my ch mat for cherry. Then I have a shower. So what sounds we hear? Shower? No, shower. So shower. Goes with the shower. Okay, then I have some, what's this a picture of? Cheese. Cheese. So where's it going to go with the yeah, it's going to go cherry, cheese. All right. Look at this picture. What is this of? It's a ship. 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 Okay. And then I have, let's do one more. Church. Church goes with the ch, the k, and the h. And then this one, which is great for gardening, is our shovel. Yeah, shovel. So that's going to go here. All right, so then there's 2 more for each. And then you can always flip it around, or on the back of it, you can write more ch and sh sounds that you've thought of or you're thinking of. I know that my second-year friends did do the sh sound, but the third-year friends hadn't done it, so I thought we can always just practice it more and get better and better. Okay, so those are your 2 phonogram mats, and I'm going to keep giving you those lessons so that you'll have a whole bunch by the end of the year. Okay, and then this is a sight word project that I thought we could do, and this one's pretty fun. So it is where we write down some sight words. So I'm going to send a sight word list home, and then you can choose how many you want to do. So I just chose 8. So the 8 sight words I chose are at, he, she, this, am, who, the, and do. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a story, and I'm going to take this story called Puddle Man, which I'm going to read to you in the next video. And I'm going to write the name of my book. So the name of my book is Puddle Man. Oh, those pencils. Okay. Puddle Man. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read a book, and this can be a book that you're already reading, and I'm going to look for the sight word in it. Okay? So, and then every time I see that sight word in it, I'm going to put a mark beside it, okay? And at the end, I'm going to total up, so it's a little bit of math and language, how many I saw of each sight word, okay? So you can just do it for 1 page, or you can do it for a bunch of pages. You can do it for the whole book, whatever you want to do. Okay, so I think I'm just going to grab a marker, and you can see a little bit better. Okay, so this book says, one morning Michael filled his sandbox with water and jumped in. So, do I have any of these sight words so far? No. Don't do that, dear. Oh, there, do. So I have do here, and I read do in my book. So I'm just going to put 1 mark beside do. Don't do that, dear, warned the nice lady from next door. Oh, I have one for the now. You're going to get it, said Michael's little brother. Hey, have fun in the mud, Turkey, yelled the glass grinder twins. Okay, so basically that's what you're going to do. You're just going to knock them off, and you can do a huge sight word project with lots of them, or you can choose 8 like I did and just go through your whole book recognizing sight words and practicing them. The sun is really creeping on me. I hope you can see me okay, but I know you can definitely see the work, okay? So I think that's a great activity to do, great for recognizing sight words, and have fun with it, and practice, 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 because the quicker that we can recognize our sight words, the quicker we can read everything, right? Because they're everywhere. Sight words are everywhere, and we can't sound them out, so it's important. All right, so for math today, we're going to do some geometry because we haven't really done that yet over the videos, and then we're going to continue a little bit with subtraction. So I know you guys have been doing subtraction with the papers that I sent, and then I'm going to send you home some word questions, so some word problems, and I'm going to send you both addition and subtraction. So addition means putting together, and subtraction means taking away. All right, so I know you know that. So I just thought we'd practice like one together, and this one says, so I'm going to read it, and I want you to try to figure out what it would be. So this one says, I have 9 dogs at my house and 2 cats. How many animals do I have all together? So is this a subtraction question or an addition question? Yeah, it's an addition question because I asked you, how many do I have all together? So I'm just going to use these as my counters. So let's pretend I have 9 dogs. So I know these aren't dogs, but you can use anything to count. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I have 2 cats, it said, so I'm adding 2 more things. And then how many animals do I have all together? So how many animals do I have all together? Yeah, so maybe you can already tell me, but if not, we can always count. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So my answer to that word problem, because it tells me it's addition, I'm putting 2 things together, how many do I have all together, is 11. So you can just write the answer. Okay, so then the other one says this. I have 5 strawberries and I ate 2 of them. How many are left? Okay, so this time I have 5. So let me start with 5. Okay, so just pretend these are strawberries. I have 5 strawberries and I ate 2 of them. So am I adding things together? No, I'm not. I'm taking away. So I have 5 and I ate 2. 1, 2. Okay, so I ate 2. So how many do I have left? I have 1, 2, 3 left. All right. So my answer for that one would be 3. So you can write 3. All right. So I think that's great to practice, and I think using counters is so good because it just adds that little bit of ability to count with things. And I hope you have lots of fun doing that and figuring out if they're addition or subtraction. All right. And then the other thing that we're looking at is geometric solids. So in class, we have these in the basket. It's a brown basket, but they're blue. And they're 3D geometric solid shapes. So basically, I'm going to send this to you, and you can practice looking at them. And then it says on these papers, which is neat, is that you write the name of it, and then you draw the shape. Okay, so you're going to write the name, and then draw the shape. Okay, then the next thing you could do is you could cut them up so that you have the shapes in the names, and then you can try to match them together. And then the other thing that we do in class is so fun is the detective game, where we find these objects in our classroom or in our house. So I hope you guys can see me. Okay, let me try. A little bit better. Okay. Oh, the sun today. Okay. So you can find these things in your house, right? So, for instance, this one here, geometric shape, is a sphere. So sphere is a ball, a circle, that is a 3D shape, so it's a sphere, and so anything that's a shape as a ball in your house would be a sphere, okay? And then this one here is a cube, yeah. So a cube could be anything you have shaped in a cube, like a box you might have, or when we did the pink tower cube, something like that. And it's really fun too, this sheet, because you can practice drawing them too, which like we don't always do in class. And then finally, the last thing that we've done in class that you can do this is with Play-Doh. With Play-Doh. So I think all of you guys have done this before in circle as a group, but we try to make the different geometric shapes with Play-Doh. So for instance, if I'm making the ovoid here, the ovoid, which is the egg-like shape, I'm going to take my Play-Doh and try to form it into an ovoid, right? And then you could put that on your papers. And that's always good because sometimes they're hard to find. Like finding a triangle-based pyramid in your house is not always easy, but you can totally make one out of Play-Doh. And the thing that we remember the most about the geometric shapes is that prisms are like a cylinder, and pyramids always come to a point on the top. So this is a triangle that I've made on the bottom, and it's a triangle-based pyramid because it comes to a point on the top. Okay, so those are some suggestions. I will write them in my email to your grown-ups, and then you guys can do what you want with them, all right? But I think it's so great to practice, and geometric shapes are fun, always so fun. All right. And last we're going to do a little song because I thought it was fun and it has to do with flowers, and I miss singing with you guys so much. So in my next video I'll read to you. Maybe if I go, the next video I'll read to you. But this one I thought we could do 5 little flowers. It's just like 5 little pumpkins, but it's flowers. So it goes like this. 5 little flowers growing in a row. The first one said, I'm purple, you know. The second one said, I'm pink as can be. The third one said, I'm blue like the sea. The fourth one said, I'm a very red fellow. The fifth one said, my color is yellow. Then out came the sun, big and bright, and 5 little flowers smiled in delight. There we go. So you guys can practice that, play with it, stop the video, go back, have me do it again, whatever you want to do. And then our very last activity is jars, working with jars. So a lot of you did this in your first year. You practiced the activity we have in the class called bottles and boxes, where we practice putting lids on. But I thought it'd be a good thing just to practice at home, and I'm sure you all have a jar that you can practice opening and shutting. So, all right, there's lots of different types of jars. Some of them you just snap on a lid, some of them just place a lid on top. But this one is a lid with a thread on it. So specifically, we're looking for a lid with a thread on it. There, you can see it a bit. And that's because when you put it on, you have to be careful to line it up and thread it on and turn it so that you follow the thread inside the lid and on the jar. Okay, and that's when you can make it tight, and then you can turn it upside down and nothing will come out. So I'm sure you have some empty jars. Maybe you have jars that have different types of lids. And another activity you can do is always take off all the different types of lids and then match them, right? So you can have a bunch of different jars and a bunch of different lids and then try to figure out which ones go together, and then practice putting on the lid with a thread. So you have to line up. See there, I just didn't have it line up and I couldn't get it on. So you have to make sure you line up the thread and then practice turning it, right? And that's great also work for your wrist and your hands, which will help you with your writing as well. Okay, my friends, and then the very last thing, I don't have an example of it, but I'm going to send it to you, is this beautiful book, scientific book about bulbs. So you can print that at your houses, or you can look at it and you can color it. There's a part where you can write underneath it, and it just talks about how plants grow and some beautiful pictures to look at. So I hope you enjoyed doing that, and you can make a nice little book, or you can make a big poster and put it up on your wall, whatever makes sense for you. All right, so let's say goodbye. Where's my heart and my rainbow? All right, so bye, my loves. I hope you have a great day and enjoyed our lessons. And bye to all my friends under the rainbow. So lovely. And there'll be one more video with a story in it. And I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye.